Hello YouTube, Elmas Shelf here, and I have for you guys today something very different. If you guys could not tell from the title, this is actually not a 6th gen battle. This is 4th gen NU. Now before you guys leave, and just hear me out, DPP NU is where I got started. This is the tier that got me into Wi-Fi battling, that got me into wanting to upload, and this tier holds a very special part in my heart. So yeah, if you guys do enjoy this and would like to see more, then make sure to hit the like button down below, because I actually did join a Smogon DPP NU tournament, and I really do want to upload the replays from my rounds. So yeah, if you guys do enjoy this, then you know what to do. And honestly, DPP NU is such a fun tier. It's pretty different than 6th gen. Obviously, first off, for those of you who don't know, back in 4th gen there was no team preview, so literally every battle you have no idea what your opponent is using until they reveal that Pokemon, which is kind of what makes it really fun in my opinion. And leads me to this question: do you think it takes more prediction when you know your opponent's team, or more prediction when you don't know your opponent's team? So yeah, let me know in the comment section below, because I don't know myself. That's something that I would really have to like contemplate about, and just, yeah, I'm actually really interested to find out what you guys want to, or figure out what your guys' answers are. So I had a best 2 out of 3 with a good buddy of mine, Innovamania. Some of you guys may know him if you're active in the NU room. I believe he's like a moderator there, and yeah, all around very nice guy. So going into these battles, I knew he knew what he was doing, and just, yeah, they did turn out to be really good matches. As you can see on your screen, if you couldn't see it for whatever reason, the first team that I will be using is a rain team. Ironically enough though, I got this team from Justin himself, so I thought that would be pretty fun to use against him. And the idea behind the team is to lead off with Electrode, hope that your opponent doesn't have Snover or Hippopotas with Sandstream or Snow Warning, which were legal back in 4th gen and NU, and get a brain and just start plowing through your opponent's team. So the dedicated lead for this team is the Electrode. Okay, sorry about that, the music was playing and I didn't want that to be picked up in the audio. Anyways, because he lit off with Jumpluff, I was really positive that he would have a Sun team, just because Jumpluff is not something you normally see in DPP NU, at least from the matches that I've had. So the fact that he lit off with this automatically threw up a red flag that, okay, he has Sun, so this is going to be a weather war between Rain and Sun. So not wanting him to get up a sunny day or a potential chance to put me to sleep, I am going to go for the taunt. As he does try to go for the sleep powder, I get really lucky, and I'm actually able to get the paralysis as he goes for the U-turn. Now this does come into play later in this match. As he U-turns down to the Regirock, I am actually modest Electrode with Hidden Power Water, so I thought that this Hidden Power Water would actually be able to knock out the Electrode, I mean the Regirock, sorry, considering that I am in the rain. Although that was very foolish of me to think, just because Regirock is very bulky. As you can see there, it barely did a little over 40%. So in hindsight, I should have definitely gone straight for the taunt, as I'm actually going to go for the Rain Dance this turn. As he tries to get up his Stealth Rocks, I can now take this opportunity to go for the taunt, preventing him from wanting to get up the Sun again, as he's going to be forced to go for the Explosion. Now Explosion back in 4th gen was pretty much borderline broken, because, correct me if I'm wrong, it was a 250 base power move that also halved your opponent's defense, which means any Pokemon that could learn Explosion 9 times out of 10 carried Explosion, because it was literally just a nuke to whatever wall your opponent had. So don't find it odd that he had Explosion on his Regirock. So it is going to be a double down, and on the double down I am going to bring in my Gorbis, as he is going to bring in his Lickilicky. Now Lickilicky is extremely bulky, and judging for how much damage this Hydro Pump did, if I was actually modest, if I didn't get a low damage roll, I might have actually been able to straight up Oko Lickilicky. So that would have been very beneficial to me, as he's going to end up going for the Sunny Day. And then I'm going to take this chance just to go for another Hydro Pump, because I really didn't want to risk Ice Beam not knocking him out. But in hindsight, I definitely should have Ice Beam, because as you can see here, he's gonna get a free switch into the jump pluff. Luckily, because I did paralyze him with the static, even though jump pluff has a ridiculous speed set, I believe it's like 350 max, and it's doubled in the rain, I'm still actually going to be faster than him, allowing me to outspeed, knock him out with the ice beam, and no longer have to worry about jump pluff, which is really great. As he gets a free switch into Victory Bell, I really have no safe switch into this on my team, so I'm going to be forced to leave in my Gorbis for Death Fodder. As I bring in my Skuntank, I was really hoping that I could live any one move the Victory Bell wanted to go for, because I was going to go ahead and try to get on my rain again. Unfortunately, because I am an offensive Skuntank, I straight up just die to this Weather Ball. As I bring in my Licky, my last hope is to live a Solar Beam and get up my rain, and because Licky is just so fat, I'm able to take the hit, get up my rain. As he finishes me off with the Sludge Bomb, I can now get a free switch into my Relicanth. Unfortunately, I have to rely on Stone Edge hitting, because even though I do have return, I believe the max damage it did was like 60%, or I believe it was a roll on whether or not it could knock out the Victory Bell, so I didn't want to risk that roll, so I decided to risk the Stone Edge, and thankfully I hit. I'm able to knock out the Victory Bell, which is really great for me. As he brings in the Medicham, it turns out that he has the Fake Out, which kind of sucks because at this point I've lost all 3 of my range setters, so if he really wants, he can keep switching in and out, Fake Outing and stalling out my rain turns. As I finish off the Licky, he's going to bring back in Medicham, and he's going to go for one more Fake Out, as I believe this turn is my final turn of rain, which in normal situations would be very bad for me, but I actually do have a Scarfed Medicham lying in wait, and because he has Fake Out, I know for a fact that he is not Scarfed, plus he was taking Life Orb damage. So as my rain finishes off this turn, sorry, this is the final turn. As my rain goes away this turn, he is going to be able to finish me off with the Zen Headbutt. However though, as I mentioned, I do have Scarfed Medicham lying in wait. I can bring it in. I have Psycho Cut, so I don't have to rely on my Zen Headbutt hitting or not, and that's going to be the narrow 1-0 victory in my favor. So yeah, that was definitely a good first match in my opinion. Probably ended up being a lot closer than it should have been, but all in all, I think it was a solid match. That misprediction with Skuntank really cost me, because I should have definitely just gone straight for the Sucker Punch. Then again, there was a chance he could have gone for the Sleep Powder if he did carry it, or the potential growth, and just, yeah, anyways, at this point, I'm up 1-0. Unfortunately, the second battle that me and Justin had did not get saved, because he was lame and he brought a stall team. And at the time, I wasn't going to upload these, but then we ended up having a best 2 out of 3. And the second match went accordingly. I was destroying his entire team with Charizard, then I missed an Air Slash and got stalled out, and then I kind of just rage quit. So I was like, you know what, we're 1-1, let's have a tiebreaker. This is the third match, another very good match in my opinion. So of course I do not know his team, which is why you are seeing my team right now on the screen. The team that I'm using is based around a spike stacking with Glalie, because in DPP NU it's very hard to rapid spin, which means spike stacking is relatively easy to do in NU, which is very good for hyper offensive teams, which mine is. Then again, I do have 2 walls in the form of my Slowking and my Regirock, which are arguably the 2 bulkiest things in the tier. And just, yeah, of course I had no idea what he had, so he's going to be leading off with the Sneasel, as I'm going to be leading off with my Glalie. It turns out that Sneasel learns Taunt, which I was not at all expecting, so I'm going to be forced to switch out this turn. As I bring in my Regirock, he makes a very good double switch into the Kingler, which is actually kind of bad for me, because if he has X-Scissor, or if he Sword Dances this turn, predicting me to switch out, he could potentially just destroy my Slowking, which is the best thing on my team to be able to take it one-on-one. Okay, yeah, sorry about that. Again, getting interrupted all over the place. But I'm going to switch into my Slowking, hoping that he wouldn't go for a Sword Dance, as I mentioned. Luckily for me, Justin overpredicts and just goes straight for the Crab Hammer, as I'm going to be able to stay in, and without any fear, I'm just going to go ahead and go for the Thunder Wave, because I really lose nothing in doing so, as I'm going to be able to cripple this Kingler. This is going to be very good for me, because now I don't have to worry about him trying to set up. As Justin ends up going for the Agility, I'm guessing he wanted to boost his speed to be able to at least outspeed my Slowking, but I'm not really too worried about that, as I can actually get a free switch into my Glalie this turn because he gets fully paralyzed, and I'm going to try to get up as many layers of spikes as I can. And because he did get paralyzed on my switch into Glalie, I'm going to be able to get up 2 spikes, as he's going to be able to finish me off with 2 returns. And the fact that I have 2 spikes up right now is going to be so crucial to me, as I can bring him a Manectric, and I'm actually going to go for the Hidden Power Grass just on the off chance that he wanted to switch into a potential ground type on his team, which could have either been Quagsire or Sandslash, but he does end up making the better play, as he's going to fodder off the Kingler. Consider that I am a Specs variant, Hidden Power Grass was definitely my better play to do. Even if him staying in was obvious, I now give him the worry that I could Hidden Power Grass a potential ground type that he wants to bring in now, as I knock out the Kingler. He's actually going to bring in the Charizard, which would normally be terrifying for me. However, though, I do have Slowking at a very high amount of HP, as I completely eat up the Hidden Power Grass. This is why Slowking was such a great Pokemon in DPP NU. I remember this thing actually got moved up to OU for a while. Not OU, but got moved up to UU for a while, and UU had Slowbro and Slowking, but ultimately Slowking did fall back down. And as you can see, this does nothing. I'm not even max special defense. This is how bulky Slowking is. I'm actually going to end up going for the Thunder Wave, I believe, thinking that he would want to stay in and try to go for the Hidden Power Grass or flinch me with the Air Slash, as I make a very, very risky and probably unnecessary play. After paralyzing the Sneasel, I thought that Surf would be able to knock him out. I believe it was a roll. Then again, I might have calced it differently, because he takes this Surf relatively well, but I do get paid off for my ballsy play. As Sneasel ends up getting fully paralyzed, I will be able to 2-hit KO him, which is really great, because Slowking right now is looking like a massive threat to his team, unless he has a bloody Manectric. So I'm actually going to make another risky play. Honestly, I made very risky plays with high reward. It was high risk, high reward though, because with me staying in, predicting him to not straight up T-Bolt and most likely predict me to bring in a ground type or a grass type, I'm actually going to be able to paralyze his Manectric. Yes, back in 4th gen, electric types could get paralyzed. It was only in 6th gen where they couldn't get paralyzed. So I'm going to be able to just about make this Manectric utterly useless to him, as Surf is going to barely fail to knock him out. In return though, I'm going to be able to live the T-Bolt on 2% and knock him out the following turn with the Ice Beam or the Surf, whichever one I want to go for. And I am going to be able to finish him off, as this does allow him to get a free switch into Charizard, and at the amount of HP that I'm at, he will be able to knock me out. However though, I do still have Regirock, and I do have a Manectric of my own. As he brings in the Medicham, he's going to go ahead and go for the high jump kick. If this is Scarfed, it could be a problem to my team, so I make a bit of a risky play and I bring in my Tauros. Okay, sorry, my bad. He ended up taking life for recoil damage. So yeah, bringing the Tauros wasn't risky. That's my fault. It's really late at night. I apologize. As I knock out the Medicham, he's going to bring in the Charizard. I definitely could have gone for the Stone Edge, but there was really no reason for me to have to risk that. Plus, Return did have a pretty nice chance to knock out Charizard. I'm thinking about switching up Return to Double Edge, because Double Edge gets more 2-hit KOs and OHKOs than Return does, obviously, because it is more powerful. But he is going to be able to knock me out with a Blaze boosted stabbed Fire Blast crit. I'm pretty sure that would kill like 3 Tauros. And at this point, his last Pokemon is going to be Sharpedo, as I reveal my last to be the Haunter. I'm actually going to be able to outspeed him, and I crit him with the Hidden Power Ground. Now, I don't know how crucial that crit was, just because I do still have Regirock, and I do still have Manectric, which I'm pretty positive both could take a hit and then in return knock out the Sharpedo. But if he was an agility variant and he flinched my Manectric, then he probably would have won there. So I don't know if that crit did end up mattering or not. But in the end, I'm going to be able to win the best of 3 with 2-1. And yeah, as I said, these were 2 really great matches in my opinion. I definitely do like DPP NU. And of course, if you guys did enjoy the replays, then make sure to leave a like down below and let me know in the comment section if you would like to see more DPP NU battles from me. And yeah, thank you for watching, everybody. With that being said, I will see you all tomorrow. So later, everybody.